Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap, and it was a pretty good daily recap today. I must say so myself. So, look, if you haven't already subscribe. Click the button there in the bottom right so you can get notifications every time I go live. But today's recap is for Wednesday, November the 30th, 2022. Wednesday, November the 30th. Okay. I'm feeling bad for Britt, everybody. Britt's symptoms are starting to escalate. She walked into the Savoy and she was walking over to the bar, and you could have swore she was already drunk. And Ava, she bumps into Ava, and Ava's kind of like, oh, wow, hey. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And Ava's thinking, goodness, drinking much, right? So they start talking, and she tells the bartender, no, she didn't tell the bartender anything at this point. She and Ava are talking. Britt orders a drink, and she's just talking about her childhood, how she never had a birthday party. She doesn't know what that's like. And Ava's like, not even as a child, not one. And she's like, no. And Ava was like, wow. So then she was talking about relationships, and she's got a bucket list. I guess she wants to get laid again, um, before she dies, right? But she wants it to be, you know, not in a relationship because she's gonna die, but she wants it to be with somebody she semi likes, right? And she was saying, yeah, that the last time really was with Jason. He's gone. And then she said that there had been nobody that she'd been in a relationship with um, since 2014. And Nicholas was already at the Savoy, and he's eyeing Ava. You know what? Now that this Nicholas has come back versus his replacement, actually kind of like him. He's cute. I mean, I didn't think he was cute before, but for some reason, just the looks he's giving Ava, she's looking at those two, right? And Victor, of course, is there. But Nicholas walks over to the bar, and at that same time, Britt is saying since 2014. And then she looked at Nicholas, she goes, and that was with your husband. you know. And Nicholas is kind of looking at Britt like, you've been drinking, girl. What's going on here? So Britt tells the bartender, hey, give me, another round for me and my friends. And she stands up and she's wobbly again. And they're like, whoa, Britt, how much have you had? And Britt says, I've only had one drink. And they're like, shh. And Ava said, yeah, here. How many did you have before you got here? Right? And Britt's like, no, you all just leave me alone. And she's now creating a scene. Now, mind you, Selena Wu was already talking to Victor. And I was wondering, why is Selena Wu talking to Victor Cassadine? And she was a little flirty, if you ask me. And I said, what's up with this? So anyway, she and Victor both go over to the bar. Why Victor felt he had to help with bouncer duties as well, because Miss Wu's like, okay, now you've been overserved. And Britt's like, I've only had one drink here. I'm fine. And she's trying to snatch away, and she's stumbling. Her legs are all weak. And so Selena and Victor start walking her to the stairs. Now, mind you, Cody was there. He was kind of looking at her at the bar, but Britt came in and took him over to the stairs. The stairs on the outside. You know how you go up the stairs if you're in the inside of the Savoy, then you do a little turn and you come down the stairs to leave. So she's talking to him, and she's just saying no. She wants to pay him to just leave Britt alone, period. You know, Britt does not need his kind of trouble. So he's like, I wouldn't take your money. I just want what's mine. And now that looks like that's gone. So now, I may have messed up with Britt because I actually really like her. And I'm thinking, no, you can't do a back paddle dance now that you looked her in the face and took the necklace over your friendship with her, because you felt that was yours. So Obert's like, I'll give you 6 figures if you leave her alone. Don't speak to her again. but he wasn't buying it. And Obrecht can hear now Britt making a commotion with um Selena and Victor trying to escort her out. And so Obrecht comes over because Victor kind of is holding her, trying to hold Britt up. But Obrecht kind of thought he was manhandling Britt. Obrecht steps in the middle and hits him and says, don't you ever touch my daughter. And he's looking at Britt the way she's acting. And Obrecht's like, Britta. And he goes, you're not drunk. I know what this is. And Britt looks at him, and Britt looks at him, and she goes, you know nothing. And she takes Britt out, right? He's like, oh, the Huntington's is on setting, right? Because he knows about it. So Britt takes Britt out, and she goes, Britta, why are you, have you been drinking this much? And she goes, I haven't, mother. I was walking over to the bar, and it's like my legs completely gave from under me. She's like, and she said, I can't get myself together. She said, I only had one drink. And so she's like, oh no, so she realizing things are really escalating health-wise with her. And I'm telling you, everybody, I'm not happy to see, that happen, because I like Britt's character. I really do. And well, you know what? But I want the actress to have a great career, and she's moving on. If she's moving to prime time, she's moving to a fatter paycheck. So I'm definitely going to support her. But by the way, I think I've already watched 4 episodes of Station 19, and I have yet to see her. I really didn't plan on watching that show. I'm trying to see her. So if anybody could tell me what episode she appears in, let me know. So anyway, we have Brooklyn. And Chase nicely, systematically lets her, for one, put her foot in her mouth. For 2, show her intentions, because he said, you never had any plans, Brooklyn, on helping me get what I want the most. And I've always wanted to be back on the force. But I see the way you come alive on the stage when you're singing. He goes, I have never wanted to sing as much as I want to be back on the force. And you knew that. And she goes, well, this is why I did it, because we have gotten she spent this story about them getting so close, and it's the music that's keeping them this close. And she just wanted to preserve as much time with him as she could, because she cares about him. And then, all it is just, we're going to get my music back from Link, and then you can go back, then I'll write the letter. He goes, no. And then he finally told her, no. This was your own selfish interest, because you didn't plan on doing this. You had an opportunity to help me get what I wanted the most, and you've already made your decision. You weren't going to do it, and you didn't do it. And he said, bottom line, the problem is, and really that's one thing that Ned kind of told them about. Them having a relationship and them working together as manager and client was gonna definitely put a strain. He says, because you definitely chose what you wanted and your ambitions more than you chose our relationship. Because if you would have chose our relationship, you would have, without a shadow of a doubt, written that letter, right? And so she's like, but I can't. I mean, I'm sorry. I was gonna do it. And so he finally just let her know. Bottom line, this ends. And she's like, wait, what? Our relationship, me as a singer, ends, and us, you and I, that ends as well. But and she's and so he turns and he walks out. And I said, you know what? Finally, good for you, Chase. You developed a backbone. Good for you. Because you want to know who I think is going to be waiting for Chase? They're going to put them together. Hopefully, they put Sasha with Chase. Hopefully, they put those two together. Brooklyn is just the most selfish, self-centered person. She is, for one, her own worst enemy, and she's also her own relationship's worst enemy, period. So Chase walked right on out. And I was like, good for you, good for you. So now we have, hold on for a second here. Holly, she was on fire, right? Robert finally breaks away from Matt, grabs a blanket, and puts her out. And I'm thinking, finally, somebody with a brain. They had all these blankets there, although I don't know why they had all those blankets there. He grabs a blanket from the pile of blankets, puts it out. Holly! And he's like, Holly! And then Matt goes over and they call, Jordan had called for the ambulance. It comes, and I'm thinking, I don't see Victor's men. I don't see anything. And the way they took her, they go, she has 75 third-degree burns, over 75% of her body. She needs a burn unit. And they're like, are you taking her to GH? And he goes, no, we're going to fly her to some hospital. They were saying that specializes in burns. There's a helicopter going to be waiting and blah, blah, blah. So Robert's like, I'm going with her. Initially, Mac is like, no, I'll go, or we'll both go. And Jordan's like, well, for one, I need my chief of detectives here on the crime scene with me. Robert, you go. Mac, I need you to help me work this scene. So Mac's like, okay. So Robert gets in the ambulance and he's riding with Holly, right? And I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Now the ambulance stops and I'm like, okay, these must be Victor's men. Victor, how they could have an ambulance there that fast, I don't know, because his men didn't know that the fire was going to start, right? So they open the door and Robert looks up and it's Felicia. Okay, so whoever said Robert and Holly developed a plan, you were right. You were 100% right about that. They developed a plan right off the bat. Felicia's involved. Mac didn't know because one thing Holly was saying, it's too bad that I couldn't say goodbye to Mac. And Felicia's like, no. Mac needs to not know. Mac needs to be able to tell the truth when he's talking to Jordan, so no. And, they even did a flashback on how Felicia's the one that bought these fire-resistant, of course, fire-resistant clothes so that it wouldn't burn her body because she was actually on fire, right? And it's this gel that you put on your skin, course, for General Hospital, so that the fire doesn't burn your skin. She told her to put some on her hair too, although her hair should have still been gunky, right? But anyway, it worked, and Robert put out the flames. Holly's 100% fine. Felicia bought her a new passport with fake name and everything. I didn't see anybody give her a bunch of money, but I guess that's a given, right? Because Felicia did give her an envelope with the passport and stuff that she would need. They got her a rental car that's going to get her across the border without a hitch. And they pretty much, Holly still had the Ice Princess necklace. That's why she put it on. Because I'm like, why is she putting that necklace on? Because they wanted to make sure the briefcase burned in the fire. And so Mac was like telling Jordan that the detectives, all they found was parts of the burned up briefcase because they made sure that briefcase got good and burned, but there's no sign of the necklace. And so Mac says, I think it was destroyed in the fire. And Jordan says, diamonds? He goes, well, if the blaze is hot enough, the diamonds are going to turn to ash. And I thought, well, you know what? I don't know enough about fine jewelry to know if that's true. It probably is, could be, who knows, right? Anybody who knows about diamonds, any Daily Recap fan, can you go ahead and tell us a little bit if that was a true statement or not, because I don't know. But anyway, Holly has stuffed the necklace in her trench coat pocket. So she says her goodbyes to Felicia. She says her goodbyes to Robert. And he says, I think you forgot something. And she says, well, goodbye, because she's getting ready to go and try to rescue Ethan, find him and rescue him. Now, how she knows where Victor had her stashed, I don't know. Because if she did, Robert could go with her and free her son, right? With her. But she's going to find it. And, she's going to get her son to safety. So my thought was, well, because Victor needed to believe she's dead so that, she's no use to him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, heck, if you're dead and you're no use to him, why would he keep your son alive? What use would Ethan be to him? Except for the fact we already know Victor Cassadine likes to do that whole mind control thing. So he could be trying to reprogram Ethan's mind. But truth be told, Ethan is Luke Spencer's son, and he's Holly Sutton's son. He is a whole lot like the two of them, if not the best cunningest parts of those two. Ethan could have already escaped because he's like that, right? So, but anyway, that was Holly's exit, and they gave her a redemption exit with the simple fact that nobody said, listen, Holly, any clue where Lucy might be? Hello, Lucy, where are you, Lucy? Lucy, come on now. So Holly says her goodbyes, and I was cool with that. But she also did a little reminiscing scene to where, guess who she met up with? Selena Wu. She gave Selena Wu a nice little diamond from that necklace. And then she gave her a drug that she wants Selena to give Victor. And Selena's like, I don't want any deaths associated with the Savoy. And so Lucy said, not Lucy, Holly said, no, this is not going to kill him. It's going to do something else. We don't know. She didn't say, but it's not going to kill Victor. But I'm thinking, look, is it going to make Victor start losing his little mind? Really? Is that what's going to happen, Victor? Okay, we could use a little mind erasing, or is this going to make Victor's tongue start getting a little loose? Start blabbing secrets or something? So anyway, for some reason, when coupled with the diamond that was worth a whole lot of money, Selena related somehow to Holly's story that Victor Cassadine is holding her son and is threatening to kill him, and she's gonna have to go and find her son. And then they said this word about almost like a secret society agency, secret thing going on. And I'm like, well, what's that? Is this some kind of little undercover coup? What's going on? And I forgot the name of it. I didn't write it down. But Selena was all in. She's going to do Holly's bidding, which made sense now why Selena sat down and was cozying up to Victor before Britt's little fiasco, introducing herself and just talking to him and a little flirty there. And so after they got Britt out of there, Victor goes back to sit down, and Selena has the bartender take a martini over to Victor and says, it's from the lady over there. And she's looking at him. And he's like, well, thank you. Thank you, honey, cutie. And she looked at her hand, and she had the bottle of the drug that Holly gave her in her hand. And she's like, yeah, drink up, my boy. And he's just swirling his little martini around, sipping it. And ooh, he's getting the last little drop. Like, for some reason, this little martini has an extra kick to it. I don't know what's going on with this thing tonight. He was trying to get every drop out of the bottom of that glass, right? So now I'm very, very interested to see what kind of effect this is going to have on Victor Cassadine. So now what Felicia was saying is they already have a cover story. The ambulance is going to take Felicia to actually meet a helicopter or helicopter that is just going to take off. And, they're going to start feeding back reports that Holly is going to take a long, gruesome recovery and, she's being treated, but she's in a coma. That's the story that's going to come out about that. So that's how they redeemed and tidied up Holly's storyline. Although Holly got away scot-free, because realistically what she conspired with and was a co-conspirator with the whole fake shooting of Lucy and Anna, framing Anna, she just is getting the nice little wave. Goodbye, Holly. See you next time you want to come back and you're being blackmailed. You want to frame somebody else. We love you, Holly. See ya. Is Robert going to tell Jordan this is the real deal? Anna is innocent because remember, Holly told Robert he couldn't say anything because Victor would kill Ethan. Well, now that they feel Holly is neutralized, all bets should be off. They should tell the truth. No, this was all set up. Holly was wearing tell the truth. Anna now could come off of the run, period. And now the search should be on for Lucy. But I guess they're going to need to try to find Lucy because maybe to cover up his tracks, Victor might have to actually try to either actually get rid of Lucy or have to take her to Cassadine Island in Greece, which honestly, I think that's probably where he has her. Everybody gets taken hostage on Cassadine Island in Greece. So I think that's where Valentine might just take Marty there. Watch. Because Valentine and Martin are looking for Lucy now. So perhaps Valentine will take Martin to Greece, and that's where they're going to find Lucy. So anyway, that was General Hospital today. They kind of tidied up the Holly Sutton storyline. No, Luke's not alive. So anyway, it was okay. At least it made Robert not be so stupid because I was just getting so sick of him. And it wasn't a real drug that she gave him to make him pass out. He was in on that whole thing. So no, remember I was saying, how could she leave that drug? How could she leave it in the on the table? So no, it wasn't. So anyway, let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Lisa says Holly has lost it. And she feels like she has nothing to lose if she can't get Ethan back. She will offer to trade the necklace for Ethan. What? That's not what happened, huh? It was Holly's sister Paloma that caught fire. Nope, that was Holly. And she was on fire, but it wasn't going to burn her. Well, look, had it kept going, it would have, but it wasn't going to burn her. And then Kiki says, great recap. Happy Wednesday. And Deidre says, I think Ryan and Heather are Esme's parents. I kind of think so too. Cindy says the Quartermain's Thanksgiving meal is always ruined, but they can still have a fun meal. I know it's interesting with the mishaps of the turkey dinners at the Quartermain's. The restaurant probably offers several pastas or other dishes as well as salad instead of pizza. I know, but I think they have just decided that pizza is their turkey dinner. So, it's pizza. And then Cindy also says, Willow is looking healthy these days. Not at all like a woman who has leukemia. She was looking quite ill for a while, but now that she's in the later stages of the disease, so I should think they'd be showing her even worse. That's what I would have thought. But, I think they don't want us to get into that storyline yet. They're going to really start diving deep into it. And Annette says Carly's playing with fire. She'll get burned. That's when Michael will turn to Sonny and say, I'm sorry. Yeah, we shall see. And then Annette says, my mama smelled turkey, hashed her chickens and goose eggs, um, hatched her chickens and goose eggs. They rode on his back. The chicks rode on his back. We lost him in Katrina in 2005. Says turkeys can be mean. Yeah, I hear they can be quite fierce when they want to be. Juanita says, I love seeing the scenes with Dante and Sam. They seem like such a match. They do. I'm really starting to like Dante and Sam. I wonder what will happen when Lulu comes back. And I hope she does. That will be something else, because if Lulu comes back, I bet you it's just as Dante and Sam decide to get married, right? And then Anariana says the Quartermain Thanksgiving has never happened. They should have a plan B. Plan B is the pizza. Chase is still trying to give Brooklyn a way out, hoping she loves him as much as he loves her. But nope. No, she sure doesn't. She pretty much, he let her trap herself. Over Drew and Carly, ready for another man to come along, or woman for these two, just sad. And Nina, please, girlfriend, Sonny's not going to marry you. He has set up half the women in Port Charles with bling. I know Sonny's been with a lot of women. You're this season's recipient. Calm down and go sit down. Gladys got her a seat at the table. So it begins. Alexis was Alexis' bottom line. The whole cabin scene was so silly and dramatic. No stop, drop, and roll. I know. I don't think that was Holly, but if it was, just say darn. Just saying darn. Well, it was Holly, but we did find out the plan. So yeah, I guess we got to accept those shenanigans. Noma says, I think Holly was part of the Ice Princess back in the day. That was Laura and Luke. I don't think Holly was part of it. And then Denzel said, no, it wasn't Luke and Laura. How do I know if it was Laura? Well, that's kind of a little contradictory. Luke and Laura were in Ice Princess escapades, definitely. But the Ice Princess has come up quite a few times. Even Luke and Tracy dealt with it. And I kind of think Luke and Holly, that Ice Princess, because for some reason, it always ends up in Luke's possession. You know, so Holly may have been involved with the Ice Princess with Luke as well. GH is Noma says GH is so entertaining. The last few months have been so good. Bravo to the GH writers. I am loving the twists and turns. Noma, are you one of the writers? I'm just joking. Hello there says Holly is probably alive. She'll come back some other time and say it was her sister Paloma that died in the fire, and that Paloma was never actually dead in the jail where Holly was held. I know, but we already got that solved. I wonder if the necklace she was still actually wearing it or spared it. Only to be left for somewhere in the cabin or burnt down as well. Or maybe the necklace was fake and Robert still has the real one. We shall see. And then sing this with me. Oh, sing this with me daily recap, lady, because I don't know. She's your favorite character forever. What? Who's my favorite character forever? Deck the halls. Deck the halls with doubts of Holly. LOL. Holly is not my favorite character. Even back when she was on years ago, she wasn't my favorite. I mean, I didn't dislike Holly, but she wasn't my favorite. And then Michael says, I'm going to miss Holly, your Holly impression, much more than Emma Sands. Well, I wouldn't say it was a bad performance, but it wasn't a good performance. So I guess we can kind of agree. Another great recap. Goodbye, Robert. I'm getting ready to go find Ethan right now. Oh, you want me to give you this necklace, Robert? I was going to take it with me. She sure was going to take that necklace with her. And then Ron says, for some reason, I feel that Holly and Robert put this plan together, keeping everyone out the loop. Well, guess what? They put Felicia in that loop. The only one out of the loop was Laura. I don't think Laura was a part of that at all. Or maybe she was. Because wasn't it awfully interesting that Laura offered to take? No, Laura wasn't in on it because she was genuinely surprised where Holly said, sorry, Laura, but this is gonna, no, Laura was not in on it. And then Deborah says, correct, I feel the same on the plan between Holly and Robert to get her out from under Victor. She had to die in this explosion. Then Victor wouldn't need him and let him go. Let's hope the writers gave back some brains to the days of Luke and Laura because of the way she did help Laura and give her a way home. I didn't think Holly was going to shoot Laura. Well, for one thing, she didn't even have her finger on the trigger. She just wanted to convince Laura that she would. Yeah, I guess so, But anyway, that's all the comments on Comic Corner. And thank goodness, because my allergies are starting to act up right now. I need to keep clearing my throat. But it was okay. They tied it up. They did a nice little bow. I can accept the conclusion of Holly's story. I can accept it. I'm not mad at them, And now this is clearing the way for Robert and Diane. Now that's going to be a spicy little couple, those two. So thank you. Let's join me tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and maybe a little. Although you know what, they are off track, so I can't even tell you if tomorrow might be Cliffhanger Friday for General Hospital. Who knows, right? But I will be back doing another daily recap of General Hospital.